Most teenagers use the internet as a tool for escapism. It is an easy way to ignore homework, avoid thinking about future bills, and distract themselves from the routine of daily life. The standard path is well defined. Stay in school, learn to follow instructions within a hierarchy, and eventually trade your time for a paycheck at a job you likely dislike. But at 17 years old, one teenager used that same bedroom and the same cheap laptop to ignore those rules. He focused on a single objective, using his internet connection to build a $1 million business. He didn't have a trust fund or a network of wealthy investors. There were no high-end offices or corporate connections to open doors for him. This highlights a strange reality of the digital age. The tools to create wealth are now in everyone's hands, yet most people remain passive observers while a few individuals use the same hardware to build empires. The difference comes down to the feedback loop you choose to live in. One side trades time for temporary hits of dopamine. The other side invests that time into digital assets that can reach an infinite number of people simultaneously. Creating massive success from a bedroom isn't about luck. It requires a complete shift in how you perceive the purpose of the technology in front of you. This teenager's journey began with a simple observation. He watched the adults around him struggle with debt and stress, and he decided he would not live that way. While his classmates were out at parties, he stayed in. He spent his nights teaching himself the mechanics of marketing, the psychology of why people buy, and the technical side of online sales. His first business attempt was a total failure. Despite weeks of work, he made $0. That failure taught him a cold economic truth. The market does not care about your passion or how hard you work. It only rewards you if you provide something useful to others. As this chart shows, the money you earn is tied directly to the size of the problem you solve. A solution to a small, annoying problem is worth very little. A solution to a critical, painful problem is worth millions. Surviving that first failure is the ultimate test. It forced him to stop guessing and start looking for what the market was actually asking for. He stopped using social media as a consumer and started studying it like a weapon. He analyzed why people clicked, why certain products went viral, and how attention could be turned into revenue. Eventually, the numbers started to move. First, it was a few dollars, then came hundreds, and then thousands every month. His success made the people around him uncomfortable. The friends who used to laugh at him were now asking for his secrets, while others grew resentful because his progress highlighted their own excuses. He learned that you cannot rely on feeling motivated every day. Scale is built through discipline, showing up to work on the business even when the results are invisible. This compounding effort eventually pushed the business past the $1 million mark. People looking from the outside often call this luck. It's an easy way for them to ignore the thousands of hours of isolated work, the failed ideas, and the stress that happened long before the success became visible. Crossing the $1 million mark changed his bank account, but the most significant shift was in his own capability. He had spent years training himself to see the world as a series of problems that he could solve with code and marketing. Modern schools are designed to create employees who know how to follow a script. They rarely teach anyone how to actually build a system from scratch. When you master these 4 skills, sales, communication, marketing, and problem solving, you become a high-value individual in the digital economy. By combining these skills with the internet, a single person can gain more financial independence than most achieve in a 40-year career. The only thing holding most people back is the fear of being seen failing. They wait for a perfect moment that never arrives. The largest businesses in the world often begin in the smallest rooms. The people who build them